A big paycheck feels like the finish line. But for many professionals, a massive salary acts as a brilliantly disguised psychological trap. Look at this income distribution. As the annual income bar shoots up past $100,000, the available cash bar drops to zero. Statistically, 48% of people earning six-figure salaries are living paycheck to paycheck. High net worth status on paper often masks severe underlying financial stress. These earners are frequently servicing high-interest loans, leveraging future earnings, and managing a snowballing pile of compounding debt just to maintain their daily appearances. Producing a large income is entirely useless if the underlying system is designed to immediately drain it. Visible income creates an illusion of security, while the actual wealth stays at zero. Lifestyle inflation acts as a silent mechanism that cancels out every race you earn. It ensures that your liabilities scale at the exact same pace as your income, keeping you in place no matter how much you earn. You can see the severity of this trap in the breakdown of take-home pay for urban professionals. Loan payments and debt servicing now swallow 61% of income for many, leaving only a razor-thin sliver of usable capital. This overspending often stems from a psychological root known as the man-in-the-car paradox. The core logic of the paradox is that people buy luxury items to gain admiration, but onlookers only imagine themselves with the item. They completely ignore the owner. Participating in this status game actively destroys your net worth to impress people who aren't even looking at you. Escaping the trap requires unlearning traditional financial advice. You have to abandon the myth that aggressive saving alone leads to wealth, because savers are frequently losers in a high-inflation economy. Frugality has a mathematical limit. You can only cut so many costs, but expanding your earning power has no cap, which is why the wealthy focus on income growth over penny pinching. To bypass personal limitations, wealthy individuals employ the who, not how principle. This principle shifts the focus from doing everything manually to aggressively buying other people's expertise. They use capital to purchase the time of specialists, allowing them to scale their output far beyond their own 24-hour leverage and secondary income streams, focusing on scaling up rather than restricting their lifestyle into submission. Once you begin building capital, the rule of investing longevity takes over. Absolute survival must precede the pursuit of extreme gains. Long-term wealth feels counterintuitive because our brains struggle with exponential math. Adding 8 9 times over gives you 72. But multiplying 8 by itself 9 times hits over 134 million. To let compounding work, you need room for error. This is the mandatory buffer that absorbs massive downward market spikes without breaking your overarching upward trend, keeping you in the game when others are wiped out. A competitive edge is mathematically worthless if a single massive risk removes you from the market entirely. Wealthy individuals like Warren Buffett succeed because they prioritize survival. They stay in the game long enough for the magic of compounding to work over decades rather than months. Success isn't awarded to the most intelligent players, but to the most unbreakable ones. Being unbreakable means avoiding the fallacy of trying to be a coldly rational spreadsheet in an unpredictable market. Human goals evolve as we age. Because of this, extremely rigid, highly optimized financial plans are the most likely to break under the pressure of real life. Market volatility is the standard fee of admission for long-term returns, not a penalty for a bad decision. You must also guard against sunk costs. Allowing past efforts to hold your future self hostage to an outdated plan prevents you from adapting when the world changes. Aiming to be mostly reasonable allows you to endure market panic, while the obsessive pursuit of the perfectly rational path often leads to a cycle of endless optimization that has no logical stopping point. This drive for constant optimization makes it impossible to define enough. When you move the goalposts with every new raise, you eventually push yourself to a point of deep, irreversible regret. Failing to define enough leads high-status individuals to cross ethical lines. When you refuse to stop optimizing, every single dollar remains worth reaching for, regardless of the consequence. Intelligence and status offer no protection from this. People like Bernie Madoff destroyed their lives for marginal gains because they couldn't stop reaching. We see the same pattern with elite professionals like Rajat Gupta. They risked invaluable assets, reputation, freedom, and family for financial growth they didn't even need. Unspent potential energy sitting in your accounts provides options that visible consumption and the debt required to fuel it actively destroys. The ultimate utility of building a fortune lies in reclaiming your freedom, moving past the simple desire for greater purchasing power. Humans experience reactance when they lose control. Doing work you love on a schedule you cannot control triggers the exact same stress as doing work you hate. Absolute financial independence is the ability to wake up and alter your daily reality entirely on your own terms. Wealth provides many things, but the highest possible dividend money can ever pay is total, unconditional control over your own time.